Oh, you are awake. Fear not, little one. You are safe here. The pleasures of the flesh remain yours. You almost did not survive. It is I who had rescued you from the ambush from earlier. It seems my visage makes you afraid. But you have no cause, my friend, for alarm. I'm here to help you. And doubtless you'll have many questions reeling over where you are and what I am. My name is Leedle, and on the surface, I am indeed a mountain griffin. But take heed, I'm not what you think I am. I have no dealings with the goblins whatsoever. Those scabrous green-skinned bastards will really find my fettered corpse long before they have the chance to infect me with their stink. I count on it. Then my aspic pestilence has forever turned my kind wretched. Any previous sentiment, the griffin kind could have once been a gracious species, was wiped clean from my race like excrement from a boot. I was forced into exile by the goblin scourge. Now, I live in hiding from their advances, to befoul my spirit, so I am no longer bound to any one place, driven not by my will, but by cowardice. The precious few interactions I have with humanity now span years apart, appearing only in the most unlikely of places. Individuals in predicaments like eels. You. So you may ask, why have I chosen you? I didn't. I could rightfully ask you the very same question, human. A goblin patrol had struck you down and would have cast your scraps to the dogs. What business do you have wandering alone in the abyss? Surely you're aware there's a curfew for humans after dark, and it's enforced for your protection from such vermin. What madness is this? You sought their wrath. But why? You wanted to die. What possession do you bear in your heart to wish for that fate, my friend? Speak to me now of your distress. I see. Well, that is indeed a most tragic revelation. But you do realize, in spite of all that you just told me, there is still help out there for you. As trite as it all may sound, you do still have a choice in all of this. Your spirit may be broken at present, but this is not when or how the story ends. Lay down into me. I insist that you take rest within my wings. You're cold, you're frail, It would have been meaningless to save you were I not to bestow you a portion of my energies. Do this for me. I am aware we have just made our acquaintance, but tell me, my friend, surely the impassionedness of your death transcends all previous notions of good and evil. Where do your loyalties lie now? Your fate is one you desire to bend to an alternate path. So why not dare yourself to descend into the dark? Defy all that you once knew, and do something for once that scares you. No inhibitions, no holding back. Give yourself unto me. That's a good human. My plumage is so much softer than it looks, isn't it? It keeps the entombing winter from finding its grip on my bones. Give in to it. I will support you. Your weight bears no heft to my strength. See? It's not so bad after all, is it? Snuggling up to me just like this. It's okay, my friend. We all long for companionship in desperate times. Your only calling in this moment is to breathe and to sink deeper down into my flight feathers with each breath. Follow me now as I guide you down. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. That's much better. And as you allow that feeling to continue, I shall tend to the pain that you speak of. But as much as I can try with all of my might, I have no pretense of being an expert on the subject. I have an inclination to believe that anyone who swears to have mastered the human psyche are themselves fully to its influence. It is a capricious and improbable realm, and I recognize enough that everybody experiences pain in their own unique way. And to that end, I cannot say that I could ever fully understand you, human. Wouldn't it be marvelous if I could? The weeks, the months, even the years of events that led to this present moment those experiences are entirely unique to you. So out of all respect due, I cannot say I could ever fully empathize. Such knowledge is beyond the reach of all but the gods themselves. Curious. Judging solely from outward appearances, would it be bold if I were to assume you were from an affluent background? The refinements of your attire is not unlike that of my former masters. Which leads me on to something else. This might come as some shock to you, human. But I was human once too. I was born into slavery many decades ago. My mother was defiled by my father on a jealous whim, and the life that he created was one he felt he had the right to destroy. My master demanded that I was culled after birth, for I was in line to claim his inheritance. But his superiors denied his protest, but instead they called for my induction into slavery alongside my mother. And to that end, I eventually grew up to be a stout labourer, hauling rocks on my back, tilling farmland, and tarring the underbellies of new vessels in the shipyards. It was my physical strength, my discipline, and fortitude that led to my unlikely assignment to the role of training wild animals for war. And so it was. It was my duty to capture the most violent, the most aggressive creatures in the wilderness, and to train them to be war beasts for the military. But then one day, one particularly malevolent were-creature was set on us by the goblins to slaughter our entire village of people. Upon hearing wind of this in the panic of the streets, I made a suggestion to my master. Instead of merely slaying the beast, why not capture and tame it instead? Send it to the pens with all of the other war beasts for use in the raids. The ironic justice of using the goblin's own provocative weapon against them. It was an amusing proposition to my master. He hastily assigned me the task of capturing the monster on the condition that I was escorted under armed supervision. And this turned out to suit me perfectly. My plan was indeed a deception to elude his iron fist, but his plan transpired in a way I could never have anticipated. The werebeast was a griffin, mangled almost beyond recognition, a rabid corpse of its former self. It was skinless. Its wrists and ankles were bloody from where the beast had been held down with restraints. I could see its tongue writhing within its maw, for its beak was torn apart on one side of its face. in spite of all of this, my experience training the other creatures in our village had numbed me to its terror. This frenzied predator, blinded by the agony of its injuries, fed on the guard with a feral abandon. A sickening crunch through its jaws had wrenched one of the guard's arms from its socket. And in desperation to live, I seized the arm and drank the fetid claret that leapt from his severed limb. And that was when my metamorphosis began, twisting me and contorting me into the demon you now see. In taming monsters, I too became a monster, and never again would I have back my innocence. But fear not, human, for I have remained sentient and able to regulate my bloodthirst. If I'd wished to kill you, I would have done so in your sleep, to be honest. But I've recently fed. I will not need to feed again within the foreseeable future. We will part ways before that time comes, rest assured. But there are other revelations you must also know. Rest your sleepy head against my chest here, and sense the pulse that stirs within me. Desires, driven inexorably to savor the pleasures and affections of the flesh. Am I so changed? Denial to allow this demented form that I have come to inhabit to ebb away at my humanity. It makes my life a constant struggle. It would be so much easier to surrender to this form. But as they say, anything that's worth fighting for will always unbalance your life. And you have been some cause for me to fight, human, however small. The healing hand compels and has a long reach. And although our paths meet at this improbable juncture, its power gathers bright in the corner of this cave.